entrepreneur, no manure. I'm the
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the David L. Moore podcast. I am your host, David L. Moore. This is my man, my friend, somebody that I've been wanting to get on for a long time. I'm going to let him tell you about himself. Also, about a couple accolades that my man that got recently, man, because he's a superstar. He's a superstar. Mr. James Jean, introduce yourself to the people, my brother.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dave, once again for bringing me on. And I am James Jean. I'm the one and only here. So, pleasure of being here with Mr. Moore, and we're going to get straight to it. Let's go, man.
Amen. So, tell them about how we actually met, man, because this is the story where we met in not what you're doing right now. We actually met in the car business. Go ahead and elaborate on that, man.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I mean, from the time of looking for a car and helping friends look for cars, it was crazy. My wife was actually my girlfriend at the time, and we were looking for a vehicle, and all over North County to Illinois. I mean, there was only one place that had her car.
There you go.
Oh, Johnny Landau. And we went in there, obviously talking to you guys, and just brief interaction, me seeing you, not knowing you handling, what goes on back doors, but the presence of, the Londoff love and the presence of going in and showing that this was the car for us. And it changed my life after that, honestly. So, I mean, that's honest.
People don't get it. Like when you are in the car business, you come across all different sorts of people, man, in all walks of life. And if you take your job very seriously, you can impact them and they can impact you. And then you all make bonds, and it goes beyond business because, like I say all the time, man, even when you was there at Londo, man, we have to make each other better, and we got to teach those who don't know. That's key. You want to know what makes Londoff differently than any other place? And this ain't, I know it's the David More podcast, but we're gonna shine some light on Johnny Londoff right now because that's and that's the essence of everything right now. You meet people, you treat them well, you want people to grow. You get into a circle, you get you about 6, 7 people like that, man. Man, y'all can really be cooking with gas.
Yeah.
And, it took me a couple years after getting the lined off before I really figured it out. Because to me, when I first got there, don't get me wrong, man, I was a young dude. I was like 30.
Yeah.
I was a manager there. And, being a young man, a young manager at a dealership like that, man, some people gonna make it hard, some people gonna make it easy, but nonetheless, my job was not, I'm not sitting here saying I'm the only one that had a tough time, but it really wasn't that tough because you didn't have a lot of time to worry about stuff. You had a job to do. And the more serious you take your job, which is not just to sell a car, but to impact people, the more seriously you take your job, the more you get to impact people. Then all of a sudden their reputation comes, and then each one teach one. And then we start to get referrals. Shout out to Paulette Gardner, man. She said something interesting the other day. She said, a referral is the sincerest form of flattery.
Correct. That's
I
right.
heard on that. What you think about that?
Yes, a referral is the best comeback for yourself, and it's just residual time. Like, you're always going to get someone that that's going to refer you based on just that word of mouth or just asking that particular question. Is there someone else that's looking for an opportunity, whether it's phones, whether it's cars, anything in the house or clothing, as long as you're referring yourself, it takes a big toll on a company and yourself, and anything that we grow in. So I love that term.
There you go. All right, tell the people what you do so I can go and put some love on you because you're a rock star, you're a superstar. It's one thing about me. I'm going to hang around progressive people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
You're not progressive, wrong. But come on, man, let them know.
we let everyone know. So I am sales retail consultant at AT&T. I've been doing it for going on 10 years now, but It's crazy industry, obviously, cell phones and fiber internet. We also do like TV service as well, which is direct TV stream. So I'm in a platform of basically Apple iPhones, Samsung, Androids, of course, but as well as the customer service side. So we have to take in everything that we do and also help customers with new phones transition internet so we can do podcasts and actually people could game and do things that we normally do every day. I mean, you wake up, your alarm is ringing. You need an iPhone or Samsung. People don't use alarm clock no more. So it's like the talking of that referral base and, getting that is where I've been successful. But, I feel like 16 years in, prior to the 10 years, guys, I actually worked for Sprint, obviously revolving company with Boost Mobile and Nextel. Everyone went crazy with those phones. I got a chance to see how that market was and the demand for phones and how everything went in life. It was just crazy for me. I did take a break. That's how I met Mr. Moore here and uh, wanted to take a chance and get out of the cell phone business and see what that tie was with the cars. And I mean, it changed my life just being able to see how the different transition from cell phones to cars was. It was amazing. But to see that same referral, same mindset of waking up, having the game plan, thinking about how many people you're going to talk today that's going to buy, how many people that you're going to work with that's going to refer you and grow your business. Real, real stuff that you have to think about prior, but you have to have a mental, you have to have goals, you have to set yourself up for success. People are going to tell you no all the time, but you grind and you do what you're supposed to do. That's how I was taught. And, the finance managers and dealerships that sat us down. I mean, guys didn't have that type of structure to be able to tell you, hey, you work your level up, you're going to get there, you're going to be successful in life. And here I am, moving from one city to the another. I did recently.
To let him know, man, he left St. Louis and moved to Florida and still killed the guy.
Yeah, there.
Go ahead.
It's all right. It's all right. Now I appreciate those flowers. We was at the top of the sales here in St. Louis, so I took number one in the St. Louis area in top sales with AT&T. From there, I just knew I could take myself somewhere else in another city and possibly do the same thing. We went to Orlando and also recently took that number one spot in the entire area. So they even gave me a gauntlet to prove it. So if you follow me, you can see that gauntlet, which is beautiful. But it's nice recognition down here in the Florida area. These managers and leaders, they want to see people do great, and as well as giving you calls and saying thank you. I think that's super big for these guys that are top performers. So just stay great and stay grinding. I mean, eventually you're gonna see it when you get up there, and that's all that I've learned in life. All been taught, especially with credit and everything else that goes for everything in life. You gotta have a plan and structure.
There you go. See, I brought Richard Gino because even though what we sell is different, the pathway to the yes is the same. It's the same. Sales is sales. And the first thing you have to do is understand that you treat people the way you would want to be treated if you were in that situation. And, think about that, because the things that we're telling you, if you're in sales, this is where you're supposed to get your pen. So you treat people the way you would want to be treated if you were in their scenario. So the only way to find out what scenario they're in is to ask questions so you know exactly what to do. In order to ask those questions, you have to earn the right to ask those questions, which is where the rapport building comes in and getting to know your customer. How good does it feel if you go to spend some money and somebody takes the time to know you better than you know yourself almost, so they can present a product to you that solves all the issues that you may have.
True. It's key, essential.
So when we talking about sales, sales is just not for one iota. Sales is sales. You got trainers going over the United States and some all over the world right now, man. Teach people how to sell. Teaching them how to sell. I didn't know this brother for many moons, man. And I've never asked anybody for a dime.
Right.
If they call me and ask me for some help, I'm going to help them if I can. And here's the best part. The one thing that I'm very proud of, if I don't know the answer, I bet you it's somebody in this smart device here who does.
Yep. That's true.
So, you know, all those things come together, man. And if you are a salesperson or a sales professional, and I'm not going to say person, we're going to say sales professional, because there's a difference between a salesperson and a sales professional.
Correct.
A sales professional's experience is totally different from a salesperson. Like, there is something called a master electrician, and then there's something called a handyman.
Yep.
Your budget might be for the handyman, but you want the services of the master electrician.
Yeah.
You know?
Not saying.
So just keep that in mind when y'all selling, man. You know, the very first rule is know your customer. The only way you can know your customer is by asking questions, paying attention to the little things, from the way they sit to the way they hold their hands to the way the hair looks to the clothes that they have on. Use all these things as context clues to help you dig a little deeper to see how you can best serve them.
Yep.
Because in my 25 years in this car business, brother, the one thing I've learned the most right now, we serve people.
Yes, we do.
We serve people, man. That's it. 90% of our time, people are buying with us and we are servant leaders. Most people, when I say servant leader, I say define that. What's a servant leader? James, what's a servant leader, sir?
A leader to one identifies, someone that obviously shows greaterness than the other, someone that looks up to that particular person and say, hey, that person is somebody. You don't know who he is, but when you get to that level of strengthness, yes, that's the leader. That's the one that shows great definition.
There you go. Have always tried to be the type of person, man, who I'm not going to ask something of you that I wouldn't do. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If we in the trenches, we in the trenches. If I need this, I'm going to do it too. And that's why I get a lot of or a lot of cooperation with people, because I still come from the generation of, if we're going to war, I'm on the front line.
Yep.
I'm not standing back there pointing my finger, telling people where to go. I'm on the front line saying, come on with me. Come on. Let's go. Because to me, being a leader it's not a boss. It's not bossing people around. It's showing them through your work ethic, through your desire, through your discipline, that you also have been where they've been. You've come through it. And on this side of it, it's all love. Everybody needs to know that once you do bust your tail and you put all the keys in the locks and they all unturned, it's all love. And we got to take care of each other. And we got to love on each other. And the thing that I am going to do, man, it's one thing that it's been bothering me a little bit, James. I'm glad you're on the show, man, because this is a conversation that I've had not with many people and not really on camera. But I think that as a whole, we got to start like talking about the positive stuff that's going on and not so much negativity. Like everybody wants to hear the comeback story. How this person went on hard times, he grinded through, he became successful. But what about the person that they never really had to go through hard times because they made good decisions the whole way?
Yeah.
Do you think, we got people who make good decisions the whole way. That means that they're going without having fun. They're going without doing the popular thing like everybody else, going to concerts and such and such. They're going without, maybe going out with, you know, do it without all those things, and they're sacrificing temporarily enjoying themselves for that moment for the greater good. But see, don't nobody want to hear those stories.
Nah, they don't.
You want to hear the ones where the dude went to jail, he did some dumb shit, went to jail, got out of jail, came back. Nah, man. I think we shine the light on people who did not miss.
Yeah.
Because it's, in my opinion, it's very difficult for that lifestyle or that way of living to happen. Harder to not miss than it is to miss, make a mistake, learn from it so you don't do it again. Every time we turn the news on, you want to see that it's a mass killing and this, that, and that. But yet there's a 16-year-old kid that just graduated from Harvard. I'm just using that as an example. This is you, boy. There's a kid over in Ghana who just gave power to his whole community by watching YouTube. I mean, I'm just saying these things like if they're possible, these are things we need to talk about. Those are the things that we need to bring to the light rather than all this other stuff.
Yeah, they're double rich.
We have to start making being a decent human being cool.
Yeah.
We got to make doing the right thing cool. That's we got to stop trying to get it. It's like sometimes everybody wants to see what they can get away with instead of just putting the work in,
Man.
doing it the right way, building a solid foundation. So when turbulent times come, when your foundation's solid, it ain't that you don't care, but you made for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
What do you think about that scenario? The fact that we always have to migrate towards the comeback story rather than the story that didn't never need to come back because he was always there.
Yeah, I think, you put the light on the message to tell people that the backstory, even though it's there, the positive light is never shared as much. It's always, oh man, it's scenarios that goes on between someone's life, and we talk about so much negativity and don't realize how much that brings us down. How much that person or that other human being that hears these negative things, there's no positive being brought out. But if you look at the positivity that grows amongst people, I've had a pastor that say you speak negativity, you're going to always believe in that. Your mindset and your blood that pumps through your body is going to bump a little harder because now you thinking that negative is going to happen. I can't buy this house. I can't buy this car. I can't do this, or I can't, be successful in life. I think if you think positive, like, yes, I can do this. I'm going to do this. Those positive words of thinking that you can do this is so much stronger than the negative. So I love that you put that message out there. And I think we should put that out there on the news. We should put that out there worldwide. I mean, we got the negative so much, but the percentage that you're talking about that goes out there, the positivity is probably like maybe less than 10 to 15%. I mean, it's sad to say that on every day, the news is all negative. So you barely hear those good stories, man. And
when you know that there's good in the world, and recently I was talking to a finance guy, said, right, shout out to Said, and I told him, I said, man, there's probably more bad people in the world than good. Yeah. And but here's the play, right? So he looks at me, he's like, I don't think that. Like, how you figure that? I was like, there's more people with bad credit in the world than good. Oh, man. First statement, right? Yeah. Now watch this. Now, and I can do this because I'm in my little office and I got 3 screens so I can put, okay, what's up? Are there more people in the country with bad credit versus good? No, there are not more people with bad credit in the U.S.
wow.
It's like, this is wrong.
Wow.
It says 16.3% of Americans have a FICO score between 300 and 599. 24.4% of Americans have a score of above 800. considered exceptional. 64% have above 700, and 48% have above 750.
Wow.
Now, and he said that to me, and we went to this, and we saw that. Now I got to take accountability because I'm like, no, that's not play. It's the whole time I said, man, you lying, man, this thing tricking me. I believe you read it on the internet. But just knowing that information and knowing how we think because of the industries that we're in, how rare for me to say, no, they probably got more back because we have to help and mentor so many people. Just a small percentage of it, bro. And it's never been so more glaring than what I see right now. Hearing this information, whether it's true or not, I don't know. If it is, I mean, if you Google that, that's the information that's gonna come up. Whether it's right or wrong, that's what you're gonna get if you try to do a little homework on it. You can dive a little deeper into it if you want to. I will not. But, you know, now that we know that, that means that the percentage of people that we help that we have to help is small, but our segment, that percentage may be large.
Right.
So that means that your location, where you are, means everything.
Yes, that's true.
So it's 2025, the year of our Lord. And we're at the point where we got young men like yourself and myself. I'm gonna call myself young to my own. We got young men like ourselves, man, and I take it really personal if you friends with me and you know me, about helping the younger generation, lifting them up and making them way wiser than we were at that time. Because, and I can say maybe it's selfish because I know that those young men gonna be running the country when I'm at a point in my life where I may not want to do anything like that. But it's 70, 60 years old where that ain't for me anymore. These are the people that we gonna look to lead us into the next generation. So based on what you see, how do you think that's gonna go for us? Especially when right now you got more Americans considering or entertaining the defect mechanism, which means they're gonna get up out of here. How do you see that going in the next, probably, let's just start off with the next 5 years? What do you see as far as that? Because the people who are 30 gonna be 35. The people who 35 gonna be 40. The ones 40 gonna be 45. Do you think we have the generation underneath us? Are they prepared and ready to do what they need to do to help this country get to where it needs to get to?
Yeah, I think with preparation, I mean, it's so hard to say a significant number, but I think, with the younger generation of what's bringing up, we need more structure. We need more guys that are talking about positivity and not, doing the negative things to get yourself in trouble. It's like these things that should have been taught 5 to 10 years ago would have probably put place, but we talking generations down from my time. I'm an 80s baby, so unfortunately I was raised completely differently. But I can say with the youth, I have a kid myself, she's 13, so trying to teach her a different structure than what I learned is what we all are adjusting to. But I think with guidance and more positivity, keeping kids away from the negative. I mean, you see it feuding into these tablets and on YouTube for them, it definitely the parents' concern to get involved, make sure they are doing the right things, getting inside their bedroom, making sure they not doing nothing crazy because, all this stuff is what I think the future needs is definitely some sort of discipline and structure. But, it's sad that we're at this time of 2025 and 5 to 10 years now, we don't know how our generation is going to revolve. But we got AI technology that may not even be able to advance them. So it starts at home. just with the parents, I think. But God bless us all, brother. That's all I
It's a great comment and a great answer, dude. It starts at home, and I'm glad you brought that up because that leads into my next question. Things that start at home, the education of your children, the teaching of the youth. How can that continue when the at home is more than likely a single parent household? So the average household in the United States don't have two parents.
Yep.
They got one.
Yep.
So now what you do is you decrease the odds that that child can be successful because it's only one. Not saying it's impossible. No. But I'm saying you decrease the odds, and we're math people. So anytime you decrease some odds, that means the chance of your success is going down as well.
I was right.
Can we teach the kids at home when in order to teach them, all you can do is teach what you know? It's kind of like and this here go the controversy. I don't care about none of these.
Yeah.
Oh, my buddy Jay Ali, uh, I love my brother. He is his opinion, boy, he be cracking me up. But we talked about like from a guy's perspective, because that's all we can speak on because we're not female, so we can't.
Right.
Well, from the guy's perspective, if you ask the young lady now, were you trained to be a wife? Right? If you ask that question, what's the type of answer you think you gonna get?
Oh, of course, it's probably gonna get cursed out.
Right?
Right.
But is that a fair question?
It's a fair question.
Because I think it's a fair question because it's a fair question for you to ask me the type of man that I am. What kind of future do I see? What kind of investments you got going on? How do you see yourself in the next 10 years? See, I don't know if y'all know, but by the way, when my wife asked me that, I had been waiting my whole life for somebody to ask me that. So beating on my child.
It's a powerful thing.
Will you an answer to it? Yeah. Look, so how do we get from it starts at home, but home is messed up to success?
I think the success part comes from repetition of knowledge. You know, once you gain knowledge, whether it's reading books, uh, that's one thing that my stepfather always told me. Hey, read books. You know, start looking into things that you like. And unfortunately, cars was the hot rod magazines of my time. So I just started reading into so much knowledge and started figuring out like, okay, my stepfather that's way older than me telling me to read and gain knowledge on not only reading, but a car magazine gave me so much more in life because I understood a vehicle, what it looks like, what it starts like, what it sounds like. So that gave me more than the reading the book, you know? So I love that message. I love that structure, you know? So I think that was big for me in learning and just anything else in life. If you're going to start with telling your kids to start reading, start gaining this, even if you are a single or, you know, dual family household, somebody has to guide you that way. And you have to take that faith in yourself and say, well, I'm going to read To Kill a Mockingbird and see what this book is about. They made a movie, but the movie had nothing to do with the book. 100%. So, you know, I know there's differences, but that was a good way of kind of trying to tell you how that would work.
The answer is having a mentor is so important. And, for those who don't necessarily have one, man, find one.
And
Probably it's somebody out here, man, who if you go to them wholly and purely and say, hey man, I don't know nothing about this. I want to learn more about this. Can you help me? It's a wealth of people who will help you. It's obviously more good people in the world than I thought. Me. So that tells me that there's people out there that'll help you. You're not stuck in your ways. Your situation or your circumstance don't dictate. It can't. You can't let that stifle your growth.
Yeah.
But I think where we can get better at, as far as the older generation, I put myself in that. The older generation, we have to learn to speak the language of the youth.
Yeah.
And I find myself doing this, man. Like right now, I'm struggling with this, like, mental health days type stuff. Easily. And I'm like, huh? And like, it's the companies that are coming up, man. I ain't gonna put a name on her because I know she'd be mad at me. But I was talking to one of my reps, and she was like, I had to take a mental health day. And I was like, what? What's that? She said it was just my mind wasn't right. Uh, gee, that's hey, man. That's the thing. Cause say to people, and they're like,
Yeah.
it happens. Honestly, nothing to learn to know, because what I'm learning is that's important. That's because I was abused, and because I was abused. Look here, they. I come from a generation of they're gonna beat it into you, especially in the car business. When we first got started, it was if you don't do this, you fired.
Yeah. That's so true.
If you can't do this, you fired. You like if you can't hit the quota, huh? If you wear the wrong codes, if the customer say you said something, okay. So, but now everything is being a little looser. I'm hearing that there's a certain thing called work-life balance, right? These are all terms that were foreign to me, bro. They were foreign to me because my work-life balance is turn that light off. I know. I like to do. You know, how many times, especially in finance, how many times, yeah, I got reservations at 7. It too. I'm off. This was they over. And you go home and deal with the angry lady and all this. You like, yeah, but when you get done rapping, I ain't calm. Gonna be all right because I, but I am seeing that has consequences though.
Yeah.
Being that way has consequences. The consequences are, especially if you have kids, if you gonna take that path, somebody else gonna raise your children.
Yeah.
Because if it ain't you, they still getting raised.
Right.
Whether it's by the television, whether it's by the gang, whether it's by the mother, whether it's by the uncle, somebody is raising your stuff if it ain't you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden 18 years go by and the relationship you thought you had wasn't there, and now you looking like this, and the whole time is they don't even know who you are. Because you didn't spend no time. Put the bag in front of the family. And sometimes, I think maybe the older generation will look at that as a W. But the younger generation is like, no, the time with my family matters. It matters. It means something. It's very important. And, for me, man, I always put success in front of everything. And the older you get, the more you recognize. And keep in mind, the reason I even started this podcast, man, is to get stuff off my chest. End of the time, when I'm saying stuff is wrong, I did it. So that's who I'm talking about. So please don't get in your feelings and think I'm trying to alienate somebody. I did it. And I'm here to tell you that what I'm also telling you is I learned from that and I became better from that because you have to progress.
Bro.
Like I said, when I said mental health day, I was like, so because I'm stressed in here, you telling me I cannot go to work?
Word.
the right? How does this go on? And then, but see, the older generation would do this. They'll start demonizing, call you soft and you don't know, or punk and all this sorts of stuff. And you looking at them like, if you don't sit your old self on, go on over to around somewhere, I'll put you before I thump you in your hand and break it. You better go on over there somewhere. You're talking crazy to me, you know. But that also is the progression of any industry. Now, I've been had other people on the podcast, and I've been on other people's podcasts, and they'll sit here and tell you that that's weak. Yeah, I start talking about mental health days. They're like, that's weak, that's soft, that's this, that's not progressive. They're not willing to pay the price and do all this stuff. And then, you know what I thought about that? I was like, pain. Just to go through pain if you ain't got to.
Nah, not at all.
You know what I mean? Why would I choose that?
Yep.
People say, in order to be a man, your life has to be pain. No,
No.
I'm not choosing that, dog. I don't want to choose that. You know, well, the amount of pain you go through is masculine. No, and stop trying to hustle me. You say that shit again, you're gonna make me angry. No, it's not. It is not. I'm not gonna let you associate pain with masculinity like that and make me feel like if I don't go through it, then I'm less of a man. Because guess what? Man's wonderful. Pain.
We all cry the same way. We all bleed the same. So people understand that,
We got 36 minutes. I told you, man, time. If you had any advice for someone, a young man who is thinking about getting into the industry that you're in, which is sales, and no matter what it is, what advice would you give them? How would you explain to them how they should begin?
think anyone that's looking to get in the sales business, you have to have the mindset of a people person. That comes first. Then the mindset of what can you do to make your relationship with those people better? And just by asking those outgoing questions, what I've learned, whenever you're speaking to someone, those preparations of how you doing today and, what do you have planned for this weekend? Those sales mindset just get you set up for the next best question of what color iPhone do you like? Like that particular question is setting them up for steps of questions. So if you practice those and you know what you're selling and the product knowledge is key. As long as you know what type of product you're selling, whether it's a salt and pepper shaker or a type of wooden salt and pepper shaker, you have to perform your craft. You have that knowledge there, you can sell anything. It doesn't matter the type of product to the cars, the phones, to any type of thing you want to sell in your household. As long as you know it, the description is what also is a big key. You know your product description, you know everything about it. Customer will ask you 100 questions. And then before you know it, they're buying one, they're buying two, they're buying three, and then they're doing referrals. So, that's really what the sales industry from my side is. It's a little bit harder in the cell phone world because we also sell home internet. So those things in all general, you have Spectrum, you have all these high end companies that, Qualcomm and, I throw a bunch of them out there, but I'm not going to do it. Anything you're doing sales wise, you just have to have a great mindset of being a people person, customer service, and acknowledging them and trying to make yourself look better than the average person. And that's not like a shade to anyone else, but someone's going to buy from you because they like you. Someone's going to buy from you because guess what? You ask, how was their weekend going? And you change their experience and their day walking in. So that is all into the sales. I mean, it's a weird mindset, but if you are smart at what you're doing in life and you want to get into sales, start with working with asking people different questions. It may be uncomfortable, but you could even social media posts. What you guys doing this weekend? and you'll get thousands of people writing, "Oh, I'm just doing this." But that conversation starts somewhere. And once you start from somewhere, you can sell them anything. And that's what I've been doing for a long time and taught and milking the time frame of building rapport and having them trust you during the sales process. I mean, no one trusts you, they're not going to buy anything from you. But, you know, there's certain places you walk into, walk a Best Buy, someone's going to help you with a TV or a laptop or maybe just a small purchase, but you're going to buy it because someone walked you there and unlocked it from that locked cabinet. It's just that's how it goes, sales process. So that's it.
There you go. I love it, man. I'm gonna answer my own question. I got two pearls. And for y'all who don't know, pay attention. We talking to one of the top salespeople in not only the country, but definitely in Florida where he is. And he does not have to do this. He chose to do this. And he's giving you information to help you get better at your craft. So really take this seriously. Besides, you fly your brother too, man. I appreciate it.
But nah, I appreciate.
Invest in yourself. Now, we're going to get to it. Invest in yourself. What that means is you pay more attention to something when you spend your own money on it. You know what I mean? When you got your first car, your parents bought it, you liked it. But if you cut grass and did what you had to do about your car, you loved it because you put the sweat equity into it and for them to get it. So what I'm saying is find a trainer. Find somebody that you respect their message, how they do it. There are many trainers out there right now, man. And some of them you can and some of them you can resonate with, and some you can't. Some are a little brash, some are a little calm, some are right in the middle. But you got to find somebody that A, you respect, B, you can understand, and C, you don't mind listening to. So invest in yourself. Take a class, pay for it. Because if you use your money, we're going to get a lot more out of it. So invest in yourself. The second thing I'm going to tell you is we talk about this all the time on this show and on this channel, and there's something that James brought up, is practice.
Man,
You cannot get anywhere without practice.
yeah,
You're not going to make it. If you're not willing to practice and put the work in, whoever does it, they're gonna stomp a mud hole in you and walk it dry because they practice. I'll take discipline over talent all day. All day. Because the disciplined one is just gonna, once they find the niche, they're gonna be able to repeat that. Rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, repeat. Talent when I feel like it.
yeah,
When it calls for it. I used to take it personal when people say, man, I need you to work hard. Salespeople used to I need you to work hard on this deal. Hey man, I'm gonna run on every deal. It ain't just this deal, it's every deal. I give 1,000% on every deal. So you don't need to come in here and tell me I need to work hard on your, you know.
yep,
If you have that mindset, then you treat every deal like it's the hardest in the world. Every opportunity you try to the best of your ability. I heard Mike Tomlin say that. That's where I got that from. He was like, Mike, I need you to train the boys as hard as you. He's like, man, we work as hard as we can every day.
yep.
So there's no working harder because we gave everything we had. So the two things, invest in yourself and practice this. James told you it might even be a little bit uncomfortable. Person that taught me how to sell cars, Mal Smith, shout out to Big Money. I love him, man. Person that taught me how to sell cars, he took me to a club and said, I need 10 phone numbers by the end of the night. Man, wow! If you can do this, you can sell cars.
You can. Use your ability, practicality. Yep.
Mm. And that was when I first got into the car business, and I didn't know nothing. And for sure, I got them 10, I got 12 because I wanted to make sure I got a little more than he expected. But I went to a training class after that many years later to a guy named Joe Verda. And one of the assignments was after class, you got to go somewhere and ask people these questions and get the answers.
Yep.
So the first thing popped in my mind was, hey, I'm so glad the dude made me do that to all them, questions. Because now you have no fear. You're used to it. Is what you do on a daily basis. But man, brother, I appreciate you coming on, man. And again, our job is to try to help the people if we can, give interesting conversation and give our perspective on things. Uh, this is part one. The next part with J and come on here, we gonna dive into more of the sales aspect, what we do into specifics, how we can how you can be successful, what it takes to be successful, and how you can run the bag up. Because there's one thing I say, brother, on every single podcast I'm on, whether it's this one, the other one, the one yesterday, tomorrow, forever. Man rule number one. And yeah, I said man rule because I am a man, I'm not a woman. Man rule number one, make money every day.
Sir.
You have to make money every day. Ever let a day come by where you don't generate some positive step in the right direction. And for y'all that think Sunday is not a day, you lazy. And here's the thing: when football season comes, it's even harder because you got to get your paper before noon if you want to watch it. So I suggest the day starts at 12:01 a.m. Make sure you do what you need to do to provide for those that you are responsible for those that you love, and make sure that you're doing the best you can to make the world a better place. And if you ever see somebody that needs something and you can, make sure you help. And with that, make sure you help. Thank you, man. I love you, man. Nah, and then I'm gonna bring you people that's important to me. This man important. He's the best salespeople that I know. And bring all the best on all the time. I don't want average. I don't want subpar. I want excellent. And the people that I'm bringing to you are going to be excellent. So listen to what they had to say. Episode 2 coming soon. James, brother, I appreciate you. Because I always say I'm going to leave you.
30. I love broken B-sides. Love.
Yes, sir.
Yep.